respected Chief Guest and President, St. Cloud State University, Minnesota, USA, respected special guest, Dr. Ben Baliga, Graduate Director, Engineering Management, St. Cloud State University, Minnesota, USA, and good morning to all of our Indian guests, Shri Purushottam Das Pasari, Honorable Chancellor, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore, and Congress Chief Veteran, our dynamic, versatile mentor, Dr. Rupinder Dhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore, and Congress Patron, Shri Kamal Narayan Ji Buradia, Honorary Secretary, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Trust, Architect Vishal Yadi, respected Congress Chairperson, respected dignitaries across India and abroad, heads of institutes and departments of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore, delegates, colleagues, and all students who are attending the Congress on digital platform. A warm welcome to Sanmantrana 2022, a multidisciplinary online international congress on reimagining the world, transforming challenges into opportunities. To mark the beginning of the Congress and invoke the blessings of Ma Saraswati, may I now request the technical team to please play the virtual lighting of lamp and Saraswati Vandana AV. Thank you, sir. I now request Honorable Chancellor and Vice Chancellor of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore to welcome the Chief Guest, Dr. Robin Wecker, with a virtual bouquet. Thank you, sir. I now request Honorable Chancellor and Vice Chancellor of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore to welcome our Chief Guest, our special guest for today, Dr. Ben Baliga. Research is the key differentiator between those who lead and those who follow. And Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya Indore is making every effort to lead by providing opportunities and platform by organizing conferences from time to time. To know more about the objectives of organizing Sanmantrana 2022, a multidisciplinary online international congress on reimagining the world, transforming challenges into opportunities, may I now have the pleasure of inviting respected architect Vishal Yadi, Congress Chairperson, for his address.
Thank you, Anu. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes,
thank you. Today's chief guest, Dr. Robin Wecker, President, St. Cloud State University, USA. Special guest, Dr. Ben Baliga, Graduate Director, Engineering and Management, St. Cloud State University, USA. Honorable Chancellor of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Shri Purushottam Das Ji Pasari. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Honorary Secretary of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Trust, Sri Kamal Narayanji Buradia, speakers of the plenary sessions, chairperson of the technical sessions, representative from media, all HOIs and HODs of constituent institutes of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya, delegates, faculties, and my dear students. Warm good morning from India and welcome to Multidisciplinary International Congress on Reimagining the World, Transforming Challenges into Opportunities. Despite the technical advancements, there are a number of challenges that developing and least developed countries must overcome in order to translate the new dynamics in global context to inclusive and sustainable development. While there has been undoubtedly been a shift in the world technological order in the recent decades, output growth globally has been uneven and high, which has not necessarily reflected increase in the capacity building. Significant technological advancements are being made across the range of fields that are expected to be highly disruptive and bring about major transformative shifts in how the world functions. In the context of technology's disruptive potential, there are mounting concerns about the risk imposed due to uncertainty that has fundamentally changed many facets of our lives, particularly the world of work. At the height of uncertainty, all the sectors grappled with transformation to a new and complex reality that enabled work to continue seamlessly despite of distributed workforce. The current pace of accelerated technological advancement is building profound transformation in the way people live and work. This technological transformation permeated into all sectors with key drivers compromising profitability, collaboration across the various sectors of processes optimization. Thus, such path-making transformation makes flexibility an imperative in work and workforce. With the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, various sectors and organizations have been course to envisage newer, leaner, sustainable strategies for achieving development goals. Taking this as a trigger, this multidisciplinary international congress on reimagining the world, transforming challenges into opportunities, focuses on the unprecedented change and challenges in the various fields to explore the opportunities and to discuss the multilateral mechanisms that are agile to determine and manage challenges and risk for the setting up goals for the future. This 3-day multidisciplinary international congress consists of 3 plenary sessions and 7 technical sessions. On the first day, that is 17th of January 2022, we have 3 speakers: Dr. Shiba Wilson, former professor and principal, Sri Dattamege College of Architecture, Nagpur; Dr. G. Anand Padmanabhan, practice leader, IBM Analytics Solutions, IBM India Private Limited; and Dr. Nilesh Kumar Jain, officiating director, IIT Indore. On the second day, that is tomorrow, 18th January 2022, we have 4 speakers: Dr. Jaideep Ghosh, Professor, Institute of Plasma Research, Gandhinagar; Dr. M.C. Joshi, Director, Central Forensic Science Laboratory, Hyderabad; Dr. Milind Ahire, Associate Dean, Punyashlok Ahilyadevi Holkar College of Agriculture, and Head of Department, Agriculture Extension and Communication, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit, Rahuri; Dr. Sen Das, former Director, Directorate of Maize Research, Advisor to Seed, Government of India, Chairman of Crop Diversification, Haryana. On the third day, that is day after tomorrow, 19th January 2022, last day of the Congress, we have 4 speakers: Dr. K. Pathak, Professor Emeritus, Department of Civil Engineering, IIT BHU, Varanasi; Dr. S. Suryaprakash, Vice Chancellor, DS National Law University, Vishakhapatnam; Dr. A. C. Kapoor, Retired Professor and HOD, Anthropology Department, Delhi University; Dr. S. Prasada Rao, Professor Management, Sharda University, Greater Noida. Apart from these 3 plenary sessions, there are 7 technical sessions in which 76 selected research papers from different places and different fields will be presented by delegates. In addition to this, 24 workshops are scheduled in these 3 days of different subjects and areas involving hands-on activities by participants. The Congress will be concluded with the validatory session on the second half of the last day. So let's enjoy these 3 days full of knowledge and innovations, which will definitely help us to reimagine the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are all looking forward to have a rich learning experience from Sanmantrana 2022. Atithi Devo Bhava, meaning guest is our God, and to offer a warm welcome to this august galaxy of dignitaries and guests, may I now request Dr. Upinder Dhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, and Congress Patron to deliver the welcome address. Honorable Vice Chancellor.
Chief guest on this special occasion, Dr. Robin Wecker, special guest, Dr. Ben Baliga, Honorable Chancellor, Shri Purushottam Dasji Pasari, Honorary Secretary of our Trust, Shri Kamal Narayanji Buradia, all guests, delegates, invited speakers, directors of the constituent institutes, faculty colleagues, delegates, and friends. At the outset, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our guests, particularly Dr. Robin Wecker and Dr. Ben Baliga and their team from St. Cloud State University. We are thankful to St. Cloud University for remaining associated with us for last number of years and encouraging us to organize this Congress every year. We were very happy 2 years back. We are very happy that if we go back 2 years back, that was in 2020, January 2020, January, February 2020, Dr. Robin Wecker had visited, because that till then we were having this Congress in offline mode. But because of pandemic in 2021 and now this year 22, we are having it in online mode. But I'm sure that next year in February 2023, pandemic will be over by that time, and Dr. Wecker, Dr. Ben, and all other colleagues from St. Cloud State University will be able to visit us. Coming to the theme of this conference, reimagining the world, this pandemic has forced us to reimagine about the world, because everything has changed. This pandemic has disrupted everything. Talk of anything, it got disrupted, particularly in 20 and 21. But it is still there. Different variants are coming. So we have to face it. But at the same time, we need to reimagine the world so that we can prepare ourselves for the future that is going to come. The digital economy is not only revolutionizing the way we do business today, but creating new opportunities for global growth and prosperity. If nurtured appropriately, technological advances and digital connectivity can spur innovation in business models, business networking, and knowledge transfer, while also facilitating access to international markets. New and emerging digital trends such as cloud computing, mobile web services, smart grids, and social media are radically changing the business landscape. That is, reshaping the nature of work, as well as the boundaries and responsibilities of enterprises. These trends go beyond technological innovation. We have been talking about innovation, but now we can see we are going beyond innovation. Regardless of sector on level of development in their respective countries, companies and institutions are affected by policy developments relating to ICTs, the internet, and data flows. With the right policies in place, ICTs and the internet hold enormous potential to accelerate growth and advance progress towards global sustainable development goals. Business insight and experience need to be leveraged to paint a clearer picture of the impact of new ICTs and business models, and to demonstrate how existing regulation could affect their use both domestically and across borders. Internet governance. See, now we talk about internet governance. We were not talking about internet governance 3 years back, 4 years back. Today we are talking about internet governance, which is the process of developing norms and principles that impact the way the internet is used and functions. We believe the existing multi-stakeholder model of governance is the best way to keep the internet open for future generations and ensure the creation of policy that maximizes opportunities for internet innovation of the future. This model is also the most effective means of informing internet policy decision-making at governance level. Internet governance today is not only considered for solving technical issues and setting regulatory frameworks, it increasingly includes policy work to respond to social, economic, and security matters, as well as questions of trust, standard setting, accountability, and jurisdiction. Successful internet governance relies on the incremental formation of consensus across stakeholder groups, together with constructive dialogue on the issues not yet ripe for consensus, all while maintaining the security, stability, and resilience of openness of the internet. See, during this pandemic, we have realized the importance of resilience. Resilience is a very important variable which has emerged over the period of time. The past 2 years have been uncharted territory for both fiscal and monetary policy. Our current economic resilience is perhaps illustrative, both of the degree of innovation from policymakers and sheer adaptability of business people worldwide. What the latter, that is the business people, may know better than the former is the degree to which change and upheaval are not a matter of extraordinary circumstances, but the general flow of business. As the World Bank details in its June 2021 outlook, it may be argued that the most tumultuous period is behind most advanced economies, as well as some of the key emerging markets, with real GDP growth rates reversing to the mean. That, however, leaves a whole array of other effects still to unfold, primarily in the fiscal aftershock of the pandemic. The inflammatory pressures of the rebound, and not least the pressing issues that perhaps only a global pandemic could have relegated to this second page. This leaves emerging market business leaders who take a long-term view of their businesses facing high rates of uncertainty, both in the short and the long term. But they wouldn't be where they are if they couldn't turn uncertainty into opportunity. This is very important. We need to turn the uncertainties into opportunities, have a positive view. Though pandemic has done a lot of devastation, a lot of disruption, but at the same time, we have been able to do certain things which we would not have otherwise done. Say, for example, the application of technology. We are today getting connected from different parts of the world because of the technology. Emerging market business leaders do, however, have quite a few reasons to be optimistic. The most optimistic scenarios laid out at the end of 2020, what was laid out at end of 2020, have mostly come to pass. Initial shocks absorbed, the longer term play of moving up value chains is paying dividends, particularly for those countries that are enjoying both a still booming export market and the reorganization of the value chains. The pandemic has accelerated technology adoption in advanced economies, but to a more limited extent than initially predicted. In developing economies, the situation is more nuanced, with the pandemic precipitating change at a larger scale, albeit in some cases from a lower level of technological adoption. To conclude, emerging market business leaders who take a long-term view have significant challenges to navigate in the short run, even as the overall economic outlook brightens. The costs can be absorbed through higher productivity if planning is done well in advance. So I'm sure that this Sanmantrana this year again will add to our knowledge, and we will be better off in our understanding about the environment, about the situation which we are experiencing, not only today, the situation that will be coming over the period of time. So with these words, I wish happy learning to everybody. And once again, welcome to our friends from St. Cloud State University, Dr. Robin Wacker and Dr. Ben Baliga and their team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words of wisdom. The Vaishnav Group of Institutions has a proud history of the past 138 years. To know more about Sri Vaishnav Group of Institutions, may I now request Sri Purushottam Das Pasari, Honorable Chancellor, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya and Congress Chief Veteran, to please address the gathering.
Namaskar. Chief guest Dr. Robin Wacker, President St. Cloud State University, Minnesota, USA. Special guest Dr. Ben Baliga, St. Cloud State University, Minnesota, USA. Vice Chancellor Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Secretary of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Trust Sri Kamal Nayanji Buraria, Chairperson of the Congress, Architect Vishal Yardgi, all HOI, HODs, I offer my heartiest greeting to all the delegates and guests who have joined the Congress from India and abroad on the virtual platform. The Vaishnav Sahayak Kapda Market Committee was established in year 1884 with the spirit of social welfare. The Vaishnav Sahayak Trust was established in 1940 and Sri Vaishnav Shaiksnik and Parmarthik Nyas was established in year 1981. Under the able guidance of Sri Vaishnav Sahayak Textile Committee, since the year of establishment till now, the trust has been working tirelessly for the continuous upliftment of the society and the country through technical and vocational education, school education, health centers, and other services. In this series, the foundation in year 1951 of Sri Class Market Higher Secondary School proved to be turning point in the history of Sri Vaishnav Trust. After this first step in the field of education, Vaishnav Polytechnic College was established in the year 1962. The Vaishnav College of Commerce in 1967. The Cloth Market Vaishnav Bal Mandir in 1981. The Vaishnav Institute of Management in 1987. The Vaishnav Girls School in 1992. The Vaishnav Academy in 1993. the Vaishno Institute of Technology and Science in 1995, the Vaishno Institute of Law and Sri Vaishno Institute of Teachers Training in 2005, the Vaishno Experts Academy in 2019. I am glad to share the total more than 23,000 students are studying in these institutions. After completing all the necessary formalities in the year 2015, the Vaishno Vidyapit Viswavidyalaya was established in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. The university has been established with a vision to be leader in shaping better future for mankind through quality education, training and research. It still pursues the mission to make a difference in sustaining the growth of global society by developing socially responsible citizen, value-based education, big at the helm. The university shall promote endurance, excellence, fairness, honesty, and transparency as its core values. It is a matter of great pleasure for us that a three-day international congress, Sanmantrana 2022, is being organized in our university. The aim of this international congress is to bring forward the new experiments and work being done in the field of science, technology, social science, architecture, agriculture, commerce, management, forensic science, and law. The introduction of research, ideas, and techniques in the field of education have brought positive changes to the new generation. It has given them diversity of new and innovative opportunity to work in their own interest. I hope that through this three-day international congress, we will be able to provide an innovative platform to the researchers and academicians from all over the world to put forward their research work. This international congress will reduce the distance between the industrial world and educational institutions so that students and teachers could get more opportunity to learn and contribute to the progress of society. India has the potential to create job opportunity in the sectors like food and agriculture, energy, construction, textile and healthcare. Though we have some challenges, but I am confident that being committed to achieve our goals, we shall be able to emerge as winners. With these words, I once again welcome you all to Sanmantrana 2022. Thank you. Jai Hind. Happy learning.
Thank you, sir, for your highly inspiring and motivating words. Today, we are indeed privileged to have with us Dr. Ben Baliga as special guest on this occasion. I now invite Dr. Namit Gupta, Director, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Technology and Science, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Viswavidyalaya, to introduce Dr. Ben Baliga and to invite him to address the online gathering.
Thank you, ma'am. Very warm good morning from India. Dr. Ben Baliga is a professor and graduate director of engineering management, St. Cloud State University, Minnesota, USA. He is a consultant in statistical process control, design of experiments, DOE, manufacturing process design and improvement, facilities layout design, and many others. He is a certified Lean Six Sigma trainer and conducts Kaizen events at manufacturing companies in Minnesota. He also provides customized manufacturing engineering training programs, leadership and motivation training for engineers and management graduates, managers and shop floor personals. He has a specialization in lean manufacturing, Lean Six Sigma, value stream mapping, Kaizen event conduction, productivity improvement, audit of the manufacturing operations for providing customized solutions. It is a proud privilege for Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Viswavidyalaya to have with us today Dr. Ben Baliga as a guest of honor. So may I now request Dr. Ben Baliga to please grace the occasion. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Namit Gupta, and thank you to all the dignitaries and others here present for the conference. So my goal is going to be to introduce St. Cloud State. I will have a short PowerPoint display, and I have about 25 minutes for my allotted time, and I'll try to stick to that. so we can continue with the conference. And so I'm also addressing the students. I see there's 95 attendees in addition to our 37 panelists. So I will try to give an understanding about St. Cloud State University, about some of the programs that we have and the great opportunities for our students and also faculty for exchange programs. So with that, I will share my screen and bring up this and switch to slideshow mode. Okay, so I hope you can see the full slideshow. So St. Cloud State, this is a photo that is taken from across the bank. So all along the banks, the buildings that you can see is the St. Cloud State University campus. And this is the great Mississippi River, which goes, starts in Minnesota and goes all the way to the sea in the south. And it's a great river for transporting agricultural products on the barges. And to this day, a lot of material is transported on this. In the winter, when it is closed, there's hardly any flow. It becomes ice and snow, but this is a summer photograph. And the students typically have buildings next to the river. And so they have great views both in the winter and the summer. This is an aerial view of St. Cloud State University. It's about 100 acres campus, and these are all the dorms and others where students stay. And the university is spread along the banks of the Mississippi River. And that is the view here. This is our St. Cloud State University as you enter. And clearly we have been around for more than 150 years. We were established in 1869 as a teacher training school. And till this day, teacher training continues to be an important part, education component. And we also have doctoral programs to develop people who want to take university leadership in higher education and also school principals and others. So our roots continue, strength in education, but we have also built strength in business studies, in engineering and other fields in STEM as well, STEM education. So for the students, most of you will know, but I just wanted to point out that we are very small compared to India, just at 329 million compared to 1.38 billion or 1,380 million in India. And we are a very ethnically diverse nation. That's one of the things people forget about, is we have very diversity. Even at St. Cloud State, we have students from 95 to 100 nations. And so students, when they come here, they not only visit the United States, but they get to meet students from so many different countries and learn about their culture. And it's a great experience for students at a young age who want to experience life on campus and meet people from diverse nations, different countries, and within the United States as well. So a lot of students, when you see on the map, you see the India map and then you see the United States, but US is a large country by area. So this is just the lower 50 states. So from Seattle to Miami is around 4,400 kilometers. From San Diego in California on the West Coast to Boston is 4,150 kilometers. To give a comparison, Indore to Cairo, Egypt is 4,400 kilometers, the same distance from Seattle to Miami. And Indore to Jakarta is another 4,600 kilometers. So India is, when you compare the United States, it's pretty big in terms of, the length and breadth of the country. So this is the map of United States showing all the states. We are here in Minnesota, bordering Canada and right in the center of the United States. And because we are in the center, we don't have the moderating effect of the West Coast and the East Coast, the seas. And so typically it gets quite cold in the center. So we are colder in Minnesota, in St. Cloud than even Anchorage of Alaska. We are colder 3 months in a year because it's quite cold. And so we get the Arctic blast coming in here. And of course, I enjoy it. I've lived more than 20 years. I plan to retire here because there are joys of living in a cold country. after living a lot of my life in India in hot places. So winter is still not an uncomfortable place for me. So this is the map of a little bit more detailed map. And my intention of showing it was that even though we are in the center of the United States, a large ships come from India over here to Minnesota to take a lot of the iron ore. And there are a lot of Indian companies like SR Corporation, which have mining interests in the northern mining belt in the state of Minnesota. So this is the Great Lake. Superior Lake is one of the largest freshwater body of lake. Even the average temperature is 4 degrees centigrade. It's very deep freshwater. And then these are connected to different lakes through connections. And the lakes are different heights, but the ships can pass all the way to Canada on the east coast and go all the way to India. And so it is interesting that how the water system is so much used in the United States. A lot of people think, USA is all white and, and get different impressions. But if you really look at it, United States is a place where you can be of any skin color, any race, come from anywhere in the country and do well. So Indians and East Asians are recent immigrants, and immigrants generally are risk takers. So if you look at the household income of immigrants generally, Indians or Chinese or others, they're doing median household income really good, which means 50% of people earn more than that per year, $110,000. And so, we still have problems in the African American community. They were brought here as slaves, and the long period of slavery, they are yet to come out and join and have the same benefits as the mainstream, because years of deprivation of their freedoms means it's going to be a long time for them. Similarly, Alaskan natives are at the bottom, and American Indians. And that is the case in many countries where colonization happened, like Australia, the Aborigines. So we are not very different from other countries that were formed by immigrants on so-called empty land. But definitely, United States has work to do, and we continue to do that. But the good thing is that immigrants can come and become Americans and make a life here, and just be as reach their goals. That is what the United States is about. Minnesota by itself is only 5.6 million. 1 million is 10 lakh. So in Indian numbers, it is just 560 lakhs, which I think is in crores, I don't know, but it's 560 lakh is the number there. We have a lot of Fortune 500 companies. That's why Minnesota is in the top 5 household income group. We have 3M global headquarters, Medtronic global headquarters, Ecolabs. We have large number of companies, including Cargill, one of the largest family companies, and St. Jude Medical now, which is part of Abbott. We also have diverse operations in pharmaceuticals. We have Tesla has a manufacturing facility in Minnesota, and Intel has a manufacturing facility in Minnesota. So Minnesota is very big on manufacturing, very, very big. And it's also big on agriculture, because we have a lot of flat land and very rich soil, black soil, which is very conducive to agriculture. And we also have a lot of wind energy. So one single state of Minnesota has more wind energy than Germany and many other countries put together. And so we have a lot of windmill manufacturing and windmill, established in the southwest part of Minnesota. We also have a lot of lakes, 10,000 lakes. So students, when they come here, they can enjoy boating, fishing, and all those outdoor activities. Much of north of our state is filled with a lot of lakes. So it's a wonderful opportunity for young people who come here. This is an aerial view of our campus. We have over 1,000 students, international students, and this is our football field. And students who come here as undergraduate live on campus and can enjoy the excitement of our hockey team. Hockey means ice hockey here, or football in the summer. In fact, even canoeing is here. I have done canoeing here once when I lived in St. Cloud, because you go down 30 miles, 40 miles to clear water and then come back. And so there's a lot of activities for students on campus as well. And we are focused on experiential learning, which means that in every class in our STEM programs, we have a project that students do. In India, generally the last semester is industry experience, but we build it in every semester. We have some industry project or some project for the students. We also focus on community service a lot, sustainability and globalization. And that is the 4 pillars that we make a commitment to all students. Unfortunately, the globalization has slowed down since the pandemic started, but we are all waiting to start our internationalization efforts when it comes on. So this is just a quick facts about our campus and number of students, and 60 graduate programs, including 2 doctoral degrees and 140 majors and minors at undergraduate level. We also have fun activities, the 200 clubs and organization for students to participate in their hobbies and do things. And then we also were part of the Frozen Four in the hockey, and then wrestling as well over here. So this is how the campus looks in the winter right now. A lot of snow, a lot of fun activities, skiing activities, and snowshoeing, a lot of activities. And these activities don't cost much. I bought a pair of skis when I moved from Australia, where I used to do bodyboard surfing there. I came here and I bought a pair of skis for $160. I still use the same skis more than 20 years later. So it doesn't cost anything. There's a lot of ski trails. Cross country, you can go for free without having to pay any money. A lot of the activities people can do are not very cost expensive. And these are our colleges. We have liberal arts, business school, Harburger Business School, which is accredited by ASCSB. We have public affairs school, science and engineering college, and then the education college, which is what we started off with, and the health and human services that also includes nursing, a large component of nursing as well. We have, these are some of the graduate programs I put up. So if you look at it, we have graduate programs in so many fields. And, students, graduates, people from engineering, computer science, etc., from SSSS can come in and join so many different programs: information assurance, computer science, software engineering. So many programs are there and thriving and doing quite well, actually. So this is a thing about the Plymouth campus. So we have 2 campuses. One is the main campus in St. Cloud, which is where majority of our students are. In the graduate, we have around 500 graduate students. So we have students studying in Plymouth, which is in Minneapolis, and then we have in St. Paul in partnership with Metropolitan State University. And then we have other campuses like with partnership with our community colleges like Anoka Ramsey, where we have undergraduate engineering programs. And so we have a big presence in the Twin Cities, which is Minneapolis and St. Paul, which is around 100 kilometers from our main campus. We get students from wide variety of students. This is the photographs of engineering management students from different countries: Pakistan, China, Nigeria, Rwanda, Brazil, Egypt, and so forth. So we get students from different countries over here. One of the globalization things that I have here is a photo that in May 2018, we take students as part of an elective course to China and Japan, 2 different options. And this is in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. We went there and some of the students who came in joined there. So that's the photo we took. This is a photo we took of the executive engineering management. We take them to China for a week and we visit 8 different companies. And this is one of the companies, German companies that we visited. And we had a lot of students from our executive program who visited, China. And then we also have a lot of job fairs in both in Plymouth and the main campus. So students are able to come in and join in for the job fairs and take part. We also have a lot of fun activities at Plymouth. We have potluck dinners, and unfortunately we haven't had because of the mask requirement right now and the pandemic, but everyone is waiting for it to start. But we did have in the summer ice cream social. We do it in the summer. Obviously in the winter we cannot, but students from different countries make foods and other things. And when I meet students who graduated 15 years ago, I say, what do you remember about St. Cloud State and your experience? And the first thing they say is the potluck and the cultural nights. And so students remember a few things. Even if we think about our experience, we would probably remember, Sanmantrana. Student might say the cultural show at the end of the program. They may not remember what are the papers happened or what happened, but they'll remember all the fun stuff. And so we show them the photos when they were there and they get married, have children, etc. So moving on to a little bit more serious things, St. Cloud State is a top program. Even though we are a small university in the big league of things, there are 4,000 plus universities in the United States, but we continue to get awards. And we have some top-notch programs in different fields. And by intelligent ranking, we had 5 top programs in the United States. Software engineering was #1 for innovation, even though it's very new, very few students, but it ranked #1 in online program. And then we had behavioral science, and then engineering management. Obviously, it is always there in the top 5, but this is the award we just got this year. And then other programs also, we had another 14 programs, which ranked in the top 100 by intelligent ranking. And then we also have our applied behavioral analysis, ranked #3 in the nation. And that is really nice because students can come not just into engineering or computer science or IT. We have various areas of specialization at St. Cloud State University. The MEM is the highest ranking program from US News. US News is one of the top ranking reputable institutions. They rank undergraduate programs, graduate programs, universities, and engineering management is in the 62nd place last year. We are hoping to be in the top 50 on the basis of retention. We had a 100% graduation rate. They just finished auditing our program and they wanted to make sure we had 100% graduation. We gave them full data, and I'm expecting us to be, definitely making huge improvements in our ranking for 2022. We are ahead of other, universities like University of Michigan. We rank higher by US News. We rank higher than University of South Carolina, Columbia. We rank higher than University of Dayton. And so all of these, schools, which are very big, large universities, but we are ahead of them. And then we are in the top 50 affordable programs. And I know, you are backed by the trust, and Sri Purushottam Das Pasari and your trustee secretaries are here. St. Cloud State has the same philosophy like your trust. We believe in having the lowest tuition fees for the top quality program. And so affordability is #1. The type of students we get, a large number of people who don't have anyone in their families who have got a graduate degree. So they are the first generation people coming to universities. So our fees is one of the lowest. And then the good thing is Minnesota does not charge international students out-of-state tuition fee. Most states, almost all the states in the United States charge international students double what they charge their own students. And also out of state, not Minnesota. And that's one of the reasons Minnesota has students, St. Cloud State, from 95 different countries. And here also in online programs, we are #8 in the United States, inside the top 50 online engineering management programs. We have various partners in India, including Manipal University in Jaipur and Manipal, JK Lakshmipati University in Jaipur, Bhubaneswar, KIT, and obviously Sri Vaishnav Vishwavidyalaya, which is the most active partnership we have. And that is the good thing about your Vice Chancellor. He's very dynamic. When he was at JKLU, that was our most active partnership. And now our most active partnership is Sri Vaishnav Vishwavidyalaya. And we also have in the South, Satyabama and Pondicherry University, just new agreements which are going. So what is this partnership? Students might be wondering, what do I get as a partner, or faculty might think, how does it impact me? So we have visits and informal exchange of faculty, scholars, and administrators. So every year, Dr. Dhar invites 2 or 3 faculty from St. Cloud State to come and teach. And we have had Dr. Ken Miller come and teach over there. And, we are hoping once the pandemic goes this summer, we will be sending some faculty from there. And we are expecting that, SVV will send some faculty over here to St. Cloud State so they can experience teaching here, get experience teaching our students, participating, looking at our accreditation methods, attend our faculty meeting, staff meeting, and benefit from exchange of information. And then we also do joint conferences. So as Dr. Dhar pointed out, 5 years of Sanmantrana collaboration, and we continue to look forward to working together in partnership. We also have 3+2 programs for students who come here, and every year we have 1 student, and we look forward to more students coming from SVV. And both the students who came in were awarded assistantship with the tuition fee waiver. So we will continue to support students coming from SVV in that. And this is Dr. Dhar and Dr. Santosh Dhar visited us. This is our dynamic president here, Dr. Robin Wacker, who visited and also danced better than a lot of the people in India. She learned and looked at the dance. And so those of you who were there, we went to that, I think Chokidani or somewhere else, or we had the cultural. She just watches 60 seconds and she would put a lot of people to shame with her dancing. And I didn't dare to dance after she danced because I thought I'll dance when she's not. She was too good. And this is our dynamic head of international affairs, Dr. Shahzad Ahmed. Excellent resource for students, takes personal interest, great leadership on the international front from him. And this is one of your directors, right? Dr. Anand Rajawat, teaching the engineering management class. And so he got that experience of working, attending faculty meetings, attending staff meetings, looking at our accreditation methods. And he visited every school and met in every department he visited. And so that was amazing energy he had to spend in the short time, so much work that he did. And this is our president visiting your campus, and we had hot samosas and nice hot tea in your Sanmantrana, and different faculty and visits to the different departments. So that was wonderful coming out from our partnerships. And then we have partnered with your institute for 5 years, and we will continue to be part of that. And this is a student who just joined us. She just came to the US 2 weeks back, Anjali Joshi, and her HOD was Dr. Jigyasu Dubey and Dr. Namit Gupta. So thanks to both of you for encouraging students to come in and take at a young age experience an international education, which is really does wonders to their careers later on. So with that, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting and giving me an opportunity to introduce St. Cloud State to both students and faculty. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We all hope to visit your beautiful and esteemed university in the near future. The release of souvenir is a moment of pride for organizers in any conference. It is the result of the hard work of the contributors and, of course, the organizing team members. May I now request the Honorable Chief Guest on the occasion, Dr. Robin Wecker, to release the souvenir of Sanmantrana 2022, Prastavna 2022. Let's have a big round of applause for all the contributors. These were a few glimpses of the souvenir. The complete souvenir features 75 abstracts, out of which we have shared a few initial pages in this inaugural ceremony. May I now request the chief guest, Dr. Robin Wecker, to release the brochure of Sanmantrana 2023. We are happy to announce that Sanmantrana 2023 will be held on February 1 to 3, 2023. So now we request you to reserve your calendar dates and schedule with the hope that it will be offline and on our campus. Thank you, ma'am. We are honored to have with us an eminent personality, Dr. Robin Wecker, President, St. Cloud State University, Minnesota, USA, as chief guest on the occasion. May I now request Dr. Anand Rajawat, Director, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Information Technology, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, to introduce Dr. Wecker to the audience and to invite her to enlighten us with her words of wisdom.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to all from India. I feel proud, privileged to read the profile of Dr. Robin R. Wecker. Robin Wecker is the 24th president of St. Cloud University. She began her tenure from July 1st, 2018. Wecker is an experienced administrator and a tenured professor with a reputation for leadership of strategic initiatives, encouraging innovation, and advancing student enrollment, retention, and success. She came to St. Cloud from the University of Northern Colorado, where she had been serving since 1990 in several capacities, including as provost and senior vice president for academic affairs and senior campaign advisor in the Office of Development and Alumni Relations. Wecker holds a doctorate in sociology from Iowa State University and a master's and a bachelor's degree in gerontology from the University of Northern Colorado. She was selected by Harvard Graduate School of Education to attend its management development program for leader in higher education, and she has completed the American Association of State College and Universities Executive Leadership Academy. On behalf of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, I welcome once again Dr. Robin Wecker, and I request Dr. Wecker to address the gathering. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Dar, thank you so much. I am delighted to be here. Thank you for the invitation, and also to the chairpersons who worked so hard to make this Congress available to all of us. Greetings also to the colleagues that I met at my visit in January of 2020. As Dr. Ben Baliga said, we really enjoyed our visit, and I look forward to seeing you in person and refining my dance moves. So thank you very much for your hospitality, and I do look forward to seeing you. I'm absolutely delighted to join you as chief guest, and the topic of this Congress couldn't be more timely. As Dr. Dar indicated in his opening remarks, we have been experiencing radical changes in everything with our work, our economies, our businesses. And I believe it's the universities that will lead the way to how we adapt and how we take challenges into opportunities as we address the many things that we are dealing with in our current environment. So I wanted to talk with you about how, in keeping with the topic of the Congress, is we are trying to reimagine the world. And I wanted to focus my remarks on higher education sector and the challenges and opportunities we face in this very challenging and very evolving world in which we are experiencing. I'm delighted that this is the topic that we get a chance to speak about during the Congress. So as I was thinking about what is happening to us, everyone is aware of the changes that we're experiencing on a global scale. And what is so remarkable about this is the depth and the breadth of the social and technological change, and the corresponding disruption is simply a once in a generation phenomenon that we are experiencing because of the depth and the breadth of the changes from everything that we do in our lives, work, business, the economy, education. And certainly there's been no sector that has been spared from this transformation and disruption that we have been experiencing. And certainly, as I said, the disruption, if we think about it, has been in the ways in which we work, and specifically for higher education, how we conduct our roles and responsibilities. So certainly higher education has not been immune to the dramatic social and technological changes that have existed and have been really ongoing for certainly the last decade, but has accelerated over these last 2 years, certainly under the worldwide pandemic. And when you think about these things converging, the rapid change and rapid pace of change in technology and the way in which we conduct our work and do our business, and what COVID has done in terms of disrupting the way we do our work in our community, it has been unprecedented. There's no doubt about that. So higher education as a sector has been challenged significantly. Just a few things to point out is that in the last decade, there's been an expansion of education for all, and in particular, a significant growth in online degrees. Also, there's been an increase in internationalization strategies and offerings, as we know, certainly in our partnership with SWV, but also across the globe. And as Dr. Baliga mentioned, those 1,000 students that come from 90 different countries to St. Cloud State University is certainly one signal that these internationalization is happening at an accelerated pace. Certainly those of us in higher education have experienced in our lifetimes in the university a significant change in the educational technology, certainly in the ways in which our students learn, and certainly as faculty, how we teach and how we also guide students through their learning, as well as for administration and the operation of the university. The technology has certainly been rapid and been remarkable in this space. Very different than when many of us started in higher education. Certainly there's a growing movement toward non-degree education as well as non-traditional degrees. And this is also unique to higher education in that we have traditionally been very focused on degrees and only offering degrees. But there is a growing movement that universities need to be able to address non-degree seeking demands and needs from the workforce as well as other opportunities. The other change that we've experienced is the focus on employers and being employer-centric. That is, that universities must be able to respond to the needs and the demands of our economies, of our workforce. And certainly there's been acceleration in the changes in the degrees in which we offer, in the content of our curriculum. And these changes must come more quickly and at a pace that we have not really experienced in higher education until recently. Also, what's changed for us in higher education is that students see themselves as customers, and that they, in fact, and in the United States and perhaps elsewhere, students are really focusing on the quality and the value in choosing a university. So their focus has been one of very different kind of consumer and a customer of the higher education experience. And so as a result, higher education has begun to focus on the student experience, because students seek out high quality student experiences, everything from feeling welcome on campus to accessible and valuable career services to the student accommodations. And certainly, as Dr. Baliga shared with you, St. Cloud State University is really working towards making sure that the student experience is very unique and very valuable, because students are really, in a sense, I would say, demanding that their experience be characterized by these qualities. Certainly, COVID has accelerated the demand for online and flexibility with regard to their learning. And also, we're beginning to see students who are wanting both face-to-face and some element of online, but wanting a choice. Very much students want to be able to have a face-to-face experience, but they're also interested in being able to review lectures online and videos that maybe they can come and see a second time or a third time, being able to access information online and easy before the classes start. So a great deal of flexibility and accessibility is something that students are beginning to ask. And certainly there is an increased choice of higher education providers. There are more and more higher education entities, at least in the United States, that have been developed in the last 2 decades, and also across Europe. And so this creates a very much a pressure on the higher education sector to be, in fact, competitive. So the question really is, how do or will we respond to the multitude of changes that higher education across the globe is experiencing? And that is really the question that I've been thinking about as a president of a university, and have been talking with colleagues around the globe about how higher education, how do we respond to these changes? So I'd like to share with you a couple of thoughts about this. First and foremost, I must say that even for those of us in the academy at the university, there's no doubt that change is challenging, that these changes that I just described were very different than when many of us started in higher education. It was quite different than what I've described. And change is just very challenging. There's no doubt about it, particularly as we see that almost every aspect of the work that we do, of our community life, is changing, and certainly COVID has disrupted that as well. But we know that change is oftentimes very difficult and very challenging for folks. So one of the things I wanted to share with you is my thinking around how to address this in an institution of higher education. And so I've been thinking about how we can foster what I call an organizational mindset, and also an agile mindset. So now I'm thinking about those of us that are associated with the universities. How do we think about adapting to change? And I believe that these two elements are an important aspect of how we can be successful and take these challenges and turn them into opportunities. So let me talk for a moment about an organizational mindset and what I mean by that. As faculty, we are taught to create an identity, and our identity is around our discipline, around who we are as faculty members. We have an identity that provides us some element of autonomy as we go about and select our scholarship and our research and prepare our teaching. We're also relatively self-governed in terms of our schedule and how we organize our days. And certainly we're associated with our academic culture, with our colleagues, with our discipline. And we create a faculty identity, and it's a sense of who we are as an individual and the work that we do. So we ask ourselves, you know, who we are, how do we do things, and this identity that we have as faculty is supported by the routines that we have, by habits that we have, by structures of the academy. And it's important, I think, that to understand that we, whatever identities that we hold, and particularly faculty identity, that we maintain that identity, that we have strong ties to our discipline and to our academic networks. So in contrast, I've been thinking about this a great deal. I feel like we also then have also a very undeveloped or underdeveloped organizational identity. And what I mean by that is that the identity that we have around our community as a university, our identity that we have with the university, and if we see ourselves as part of an organization. And so I think what we have is that we have created a pipeline or a culture or a structure in higher education where we foster and develop faculty identity, because of course we want faculty to be successful scholars, professors, teachers, engaged in research and engaged with business and be the top in their fields. But we do little, I think, to talk about what that means in terms of being connected to an organization. So what we try to do, I think, is try to figure out how we can create and foster an organizational mindset with all the members of our higher education community. Because when you think about the changes in which universities are facing, they're very much disrupting the identity of the faculty. We ask faculty to be able to not only teach face-to-face in the classroom, but also be competent and teach online. And many of us started out in higher education in teaching in the classroom and very much value that personal connection. But we then ask faculty to shift and maybe be competent in both spaces to be able to teach online as well as face-to-face. We also ask faculty to be engaged in assessment and identify program objectives, to care about ideas such as belonging, to make sure that students in our classrooms feel welcome, and we are concerned about retaining our students. And certainly we've been able to, I think, historically develop a culture where we think about having our structures and our courses and other things to where we're not necessarily thinking about what the students need. And for example, we have many students at St. Cloud State who work part-time, but yet we have few classes that might be offered at times in which students would be able to both work and attend classes, because our structures and our mindset has been focused in other directions. So in thinking about this and thinking about how we need to meet the challenges, I've been beginning to think about how our doctoral programs can begin to introduce the notion of an organizational identity, that as faculty, they will be becoming members of an organization, of a university, and be an important and valuable member of that university. And that university leadership should work diligently to help address the changing nature of the role of the faculty and of the staff. And that the role of faculty is very much evolving and changing even more than it has in a decade. And changes are happening very quickly, again, because of the external changes that we are experiencing. So I think it's also important for university leadership to cultivate a culture of innovation and risk-taking. It's something that, again, can foster a connection with the university as an entity, as an organization, and include faculty in organizational strategies, engagement in identifying opportunities to address the challenges that we face. So the faculty feel very much engaged as a partner, as an important part of how we as universities address all of the changes that are coming our way, the challenges, and turn them into opportunities, and use the best thinkers that we have at the university to help us think about how we step up and address these very disruptive changes that we're experiencing as a university. And so the second mindset that I've been thinking a great deal about is this mindset, this agile mindset. And it is something that I think that we need to be talking about and articulating and having conversations about. And what I mean about how I define an agile mindset and how the literature talks about an agile mindset is that it is somebody who actually expects that things will change and that they are able to adapt to the changes. And as Dr. Dar said, be resilient in the face of changes that might come our way. But it's a mindset that almost expects that there will be changes, and that the role of faculty and of higher education is an evolutionary enterprise, that we as a university must continue to adapt and to change, and that it is the new normal of higher education to acknowledge that in fact our world is changing around us, and we must lead in how to take these changes and serve our communities, our businesses, and our students in a way that keeps pace with the changes that we are immersed in and affected by. So in a sense, it is something that the new normal of higher education isn't something that is one of complacency, and rather it is one where we adopt the idea that just like in our disciplines, how things evolve as we conduct research and we learn more through our research and through exploration, how we advance our discipline, so too we must also take on a mindset that universities as an organization must also be resilient, must also be adaptive, and must also be willing to see change as opportunities for growth and for leading the way, quite frankly, in the world today, that higher education is one, then universities are those spaces that are showing the way and that are in fact demonstrating that challenges can be met with opportunity. We have a wonderful, I think, chance to demonstrate this. But I think we need to have some conversations about how we think about our roles, about how we see ourselves as faculty and as members of an organization, and that as leaders of universities, that we intentionally set about to identify ways in which we can engage faculty, that we can have conversations about the roles and the changing role and the nature of faculty in higher education to be able to address the needs of our students. So with that, I hope I've given you some food for thought about maybe how we can think about the work that we do at a university. And again, I thank you so very much for the opportunity to speak with you today. And I look forward to seeing you again in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Becker. We all sincerely appreciate the efforts that St. Cloud State University is taking for achieving excellence in quality education. Your address will go a long way in inspiring our university and all of us. I'm certain that all of us present over here would be greatly benefited by your deliberations. Thank you, Dr. Becker, and hope to see you in next Sanmantrana 2023. Now, I would like to request Shri Kamal Narayan Ji Buradia, Honorary Secretary, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Trust, to propose words of thanks.
Chief guest of the inaugural ceremony of the Online International Congress, Sanmantrana 2022, Madam Dr. Robin Baker, President, St. Cloud State University, Minnesota, USA. Special guest, Dr. Ben Baliga, Graduate Director, EM, St. Cloud University, Honorable Chancellor of Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vidyalaya, Sri Purushottam Basari, Vice Chancellor Dr. Upendra Dhar, Chairman of the Congress Dr. Vishal Yardiji, respected trustee of this Vaishnav Trust Group, faculty members, directors, HODs, delegates, eminent speakers, invited speakers and staff members and dear students. We are very much honored today that Dr. Robin Baker, President, St. Cloud State University, Minnesota, USA, is virtually with us. I am expressing the feeling of everyone to tell her how deeply grateful we are to her. We are all very much impressed for your good words, Madam. Really, your presence today is a great source of inspiration and motivation. As you rightly said, that change is challenging. You rightly said that change is challenging. I sincerely express my heartful thanks to our esteemed chief guest, Madam. We wish you every success. I also thank Dr. Ben Baliga, Graduate Director EM, State Cloud University. I hope this international congress will improve our understanding and association with St. Cloud University, USA. Will definitely give an exceptional experience to our faculty and students. Madam, as our university ring in just 8 years of its founding, the university continues to stand tall and is still raring to go. After all, it is journey of commitment and excellence should go on for like a keen traveler. In this unprecedented time of pandemic, we are witnessing new forms of teaching and learning, and we are committed to deliver quality education, offering all our students seamless learning environment wherein when our students can dream and grow and lead. Our students can dream, grow and lead. I hope our faculty and all the team of our university will do their best to our motto: think excellence and live excellence. On this occasion, I am thankful to Honorable Chancellor Sri Purushottam Das Ji Pasari and VC Dr. Upendra Dhar for organizing multidisciplinary online international congress Sanmantrana 2022. Thank you for your encouragement. I also thank Dr. Vishal Yardi and his all teams, all the delegates, participants, and distinguished speakers who accepted our invitation to grace this conference. I thank everyone for the involvement to make this congress a success. I wish all the best for this grand success of the Sanmantrana 2022, a multidisciplinary online international congress on reimagining the world, transforming challenge into the opportunity. Jai Hind. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you to all the delegates and all the participants.
Thank you, sir. I now request technical team to play the national anthem of USA, and I request all to please rise. Thank you. I now request technical team to play National Anthem of India.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you. I once again thank all the dignitaries for joining us on the digital platform for Sanmantrana 2022. With this, we come to the conclusion of the inaugural session of Sanmantrana 2022. I request all to join on the same link at 11 a.m. after a tea break for plenary session 1. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Becker. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next year
Good to see you all.
in person.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ben Baliga. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Sure.